I'm Jackie,
And I'm Davey.
and this is the Weekend Hangover.
And welcome. It was better. It was better. It was
What?
better. Huh?
Well, you made me laugh right beforehand because you're just like, listen, don't fuck it up. Like, I'm like, or just remember what you
Listen,
say.
don't make me sound like I'm Stalin over here. Don't fuck it up.
Well, no, okay, you didn't say don't fuck it up. You said, remember, you're Jackie. And I was
I'm
like,
sorry.
okay, Jackie.
My bad. You forget who you are sometimes.
Oh, what a day.
What a day.
We'll
Hi,
get it
folks.
right.
Welcome to the Cinco de Drinko Day. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
We are live on our Rumble account for the first time.
Yes.
So let's see how this works out.
I'm about to bust.
That was not the one I was supposed to. That was. That's what I wanted, but I got the wrong one. But okay, anyway.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Cinco de Mayo. How's everybody doing? Do you have any drinks today?
No, I didn't actually.
That's funny. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was just a long day. Well, actually, I slept in, which is great. I had coffee, and then I took my kid out for a walk. We went walk 4 miles. It was amazing. And then he fell asleep right before I got to the car. So then I drove around for like an hour and a half so he could sleep. And then I came home and I was like, why am I so tired? So, but I had tacos. My husband made like grilled chicken and steak, and we made like chicken and steak tacos. It was wonderful. And then I'm on here. Like my day went really fast.
Yeah. Sundays go really fast, but it's nice to now that I had the weekend. We went and hung out with a couple of friends yesterday, which I haven't hung out with like friends in like what feels like forever. I haven't had like real friends in like forever since
What
I
am I?
moved out
Chop
here.
liver?
Like hanging out, like this is
I know.
this is hanging out / work, but still, like I like actual like being able to touch. I still haven't met you, and I'm
I
mad
know.
that somebody else got to meet you before me, which I'm very angry about. But we'll get there. We'll get there. But
Yeah.
do you want to announce anything or later?
No.
Okay. I am going to announce though
No.
that
I'm
we
still
will be.
trying to figure things. We're trying to figure things out.
Ooh,
It'll
teaser.
happen. Just not probably in the next few weeks.
Just to let you know, folks, there is a lot of stuff that is coming down the pipe with the Business Party Network. That is coming, more shows, different people. I want to cry. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to cry because this is like something I've always dreamed of.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's slowly and steadily happening. And it's to me, this is the coolest thing. Like this is like all three of us had a baby and the baby's growing up.
Yes. Three men and a baby. This is what 3 men in a podcast.
two men and a woman in a podcast. How about that?
Yeah. I just wanted to make it easier. So have people questioning, wait, what did she say? She's a man?
Don't you judge, sir, ma'am, thing, person, whatever. But yeah, we have so much coming. Me and Rich are going to do Off Label twice a week. We will have a guest on with us maybe once a week, once every other week. We got the Weekend Hangover going on. Like I said, we are now on Rumble, so go follow us at the Weekend Hangover on Rumble.
Yeah.
The network is slowly but surely getting there, and like I said, this is just it's a dream come true for me because I've always wanted to be in radio. I really, and this is not radio, but you know what I mean. Like I've always wanted to be doing this, and for it to be coming true is like it's surreal. It really is surreal, and
yeah.
But yeah, so like I
It's
said,
like
we
we
got
were waiting in the kid pool bit, just trying to figure out how to swim. We're still getting there. We're like probably, just getting one swimmy off. The other one will be coming off soon. So
and it's and we're all doing it together and like learning how to do things
hmm
learning how to do things on our own. So like, it's funny that when people ask me like Dilly, they're asked like, "Oh, can I do a podcast um or can you tell me how to do one? Like, would you be able to help me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care." It's hard, there's a lot. It's hard, but it I don't know how to, it's like easy, but it's hard at the same time, you know? It's
yeah.
there's so many things we can use that we have to make it go, but it's so hard where it's so many topics. Like, I mean, with business party, we kind of touch the surface on a lot of stuff. We try to get as much information
hmm
as possible, try to have people on and have a good time. With off label, it's more about in depth into things. With this, it's like relationship, documentaries, all different kinds of things. And it's harder than like I used to listen to Opie and Anthony, and like they would say that, and I was an avid listener, like I'd listen every day, and they'd say the same thing all the time. And I'm like, what? They can come up with new stuff. And now I find myself coming up with almost the same thing on all the time. I'm like, oh, I get it now. I get it.
Yeah, it's you don't realize how much goes in on the back end of things. Like this is the fun part.
Yeah.
Like going live is the fun part. It's like everything else. Like I talk to you guys
Yeah.
every day on something, whether it be like, oh, look at this topic, that topic, things getting sent into one queue for us to like put together for the week. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And
And
it's
then
like
we never talk about half the shit that we've been talking about during the week.
and then I just throw a bunch of stuff into the Telegram, just like here, let's do this, and this, because then I'll forget. I know myself. I forget a
I
lot of
know.
stuff.
Well, I laugh at myself every morning when I wake up and I start sending you guys shit on Twitter. And I'm like, they're probably like, Jesus, I haven't even had coffee yet, mama.
Yeah, but
Relax.
look at the time I sent some of the things at 12:47 a.m., 2 in the morning. Like my brain is just going,
hmm
and I'm just laying in bed seeing things. I was like, okay, this is for the show. And then I got my Telegram, so that way it's there's 4 different things. So it's just like it's the dive bar news, it's us, it's business party, and it's off label. So I have to send different things to different places
hmm
where I want to touch on for different things. And it's just like, okay, did I send it here? Oh. And then that's why half the times I'm like, did I send it to you? This one? Did I send it to that one? Did I send
Yeah.
it to this one? But
I'm laughing because what was it? It was like 2 weeks ago. It was like it was really early in the morning. I started sending you texts. I'm like, okay, listen, this is the deal for today. Duh. And you're like, it sounds great, but can we talk about this later? It's early. I haven't even had coffee yet. And I was like, oh my God. I am so, because the second that I wake up, my brain just starts going. So, but
and
it was fun.
and I feel bad not answering sometimes. I'm just like, I want to say something like that's why a lot of times I'll just give the thumbs up, like to acknowledge that I've seen it or that, and you know
You
how
won't
many
offend
people,
me.
get angry with just the thumbs up. Like Mandy will send me something, and I'll just be like, thumbs up. She goes, really? Thumbs up. I'm like, I don't know. What do I say? What do I just thumbs up. I had somebody tell me that
Awesome.
they're more offended by just okay than they would if I called them a cunt. And I was like, what? And I'm like, all right,
Well,
I guess if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. So then you got to find new ways to say okay. Sounds good. Splendiferous. Spectacular. And they're
oh
like,
yeah.
are you just being facetious? I'm like, no, I'm just trying not to say okay. Oh man,
Oh
but
boy.
sounds like you had a great week. I can't well, I can't even remember. Were we on last week? No, we weren't on last week, right?
No.
No.
Yes, and we want to apologize, but it was a special day because Davy and Amanda had their very, very special gender reveal
I'm trying to.
on
Did
TikTok,
I don't even know
and
where.
I felt I wanted to jump in, but I was like, I can't.
Why
but
not? You could.
I don't know. I'm weird. So I was like, I'll just watch, just say hi in the
I'll
chat.
just I'll just do the watchy thing and be weird to just watch.
I know. But I did say I did put in what I thought the baby was, and I said hello, and I said congratulations, and then I text you both afterwards too.
Addiction, you're my congratulations. New bestie, let's see. It's true. There's no mountain I could not climb as long as you are mine, and
Look at this. It's our friend Meg.
No, not to the side.
Her son.
I'll be your best friend.
Aww.
I'll be your guy whenever you need me.
It's gonna be here before you know it. The summer is
So
gonna
it's
be
a
over in a
girl.
flash.
Yeah, I
It's a little
know.
baby girl.
I
I'm so
know.
excited for you guys.
I know. I can't wait. I'm actually excited. Everybody's like, "Oh, I was like, to be honest with you, I don't care either way. Listen. I said it. I said God is a funny entity, or I don't. I want to say God's a funny man. But God's a funny God, and I prayed and I asked for the ability to do it over because I wasn't the greatest dad. I wasn't to my first. I was. I was drunk and I was young and stupid, and I prayed and I said, please give me a chance to do it over again." And he said, "Okay, no problem. Copy paste.
Yeah.
Here's your chance to
Oh,
do it over again, and you're gonna have exactly what you wanted." A chance to do it over again with a girl. So here you go, congratulations. And it's gonna be. We haven't decided on how we're gonna spell it. It's gonna be Ryan Olivia.
mhm.
But we haven't decided. It's either Ryan, Ryanne, or Ryeann. So
Okay.
either way, it's gonna be Ryan, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're doing a gender neutral?" No, we like DC
No.
Comics. We like DC Comics,
Oh,
so it's the name like Peter Parker, Wade Wilson. It goes with the last name. So
right.
Ryan, and then my last name, which I don't like to put on here, but it
Right.
flows.
It's alliteration.
Yeah. So that's why it's Ryan, and we want something different. I don't mind boy names on girls. I think it's cool, it's different. But then again, the way my daughter Madison was when she was born, I didn't know anybody that's named Madison, and then she graduated with 4 Madisons.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm different. This is going to be different." Wrong, fucker. You're just like everybody.
So I actually found out my cousin Amanda. I have a cousin named Amanda. She's pregnant and she's having a girl too. And they're naming her Ryan. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Jesus. Wait a minute. Are we family? Wait a minute.
No. Yeah.
Well, Amanda, I think she said
I
15
know 3
people.
people who are having kids in like September, October.
She knows
3. Your
15.
Amanda, my Amanda, and then I have a friend here who's having a kid too, but I don't know if she's having a boy or a girl yet.
There's 15 people from Amanda's shift that are pregnant.
Oh man, it's something in the water. Something's
That's
going
what she
on.
said. I swear to you, I swear for God, there's something in the water right now that they put in. If my daughter gets pregnant, I'm gonna be mad. I'll be like, "This is a fuck." I'm actually no. If my daughter gets pregnant, I'll be so happy. If my daughter's kid and my kid are aunt and whatever, and
Yeah.
they're the same age.
My aunt's only like 3.5 years older than me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I didn't know like my cousins. Well, growing up, I thought my cousins were my aunts and uncles. I thought they were
Mhm.
like 20s. Yeah, they were like 6, 7 years older than me. They're not that much older than me.
That's so funny. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's what I was saying. I know 50 people that are having kids before the end of the year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. All of a sudden it was kind of like it's kind of like the pandemic where everybody just they close everything down and then they're like, well,
Right.
let's get pregnant. And you're just like, well,
Well, it was Elon Musk. He said that the population's going down. And I guess when everybody heard that, they're like, all right,
baby making time.
let's fix this.
Let's do this. Actually, I was on a live today with my buddy Bill, and this girl. She was 24, right? 24 years old. Guess how many kids?
I don't know how many.
5.
5?
Yeah.
Any twins or just
No.
Wow.
She's been pregnant since she was 16.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of kids.
And the guy had 3 and the guy had got 3 other girls pregnant at the same time. And she was pregnant.
He was playing he was being Nick Cannon, wasn't he? He was pulling Nick Cannon. He's got a harem of rotating women to get pregnant with his
dude's gonna pay $1,800 a month in child support just to her. That's a mortgage payment.
Yeah.
Like I get it. I understand. Like it's part of he's gone, and he has to pay. But like still, and that's just her. Now he's got kids with 3 other. Like he's just gonna be working to fucking. He's gonna live in a cardboard box. But once again, you stick your dick in, buddy. That's on you. That's on you.
Are you sure he's not a secret like polygamist?
I don't listen. She came up and we were just talking to her for a little while. These people in the lives, they just come up, especially on my buddy Bill's live. He gets the weirdest people coming up in his live. And there was one lady who lived in a basement, and she had a bed with 3 chairs pointed at the bed, and then she had a whole bunch of like doomsday prepper stuff in the basement, and she lived with some dude and his boyfriend. Yeah, there's some wild people, and they come out like at 1 in the morning, and it's just wild.
Why were there 3 chairs facing the bed?
That was the question we never got answered. We never got those questions answered. So it was just like, But yeah, there's some wild people. And I mean, they're saying that we're not having kids at the rate, but if you go on TikTok, there's so many girls at a certain age that have so many kids. I know there's a couple of girls that I've seen on there that just like 4 or 5 kids, early mid-20s, and I mean, they say we're not having kids, but boy, oh boy. By the way, I told you I was in the market for a truck, right?
Yeah.
These people want twice what trucks are worth on Kelley Blue Book. It's insane. Like I was looking at this, what was it, 2002 Dodge Ram 1500, right?
Mm-hmm.
She wanted $8,000 for it. Kelley Blue Book is $4,500.
Inflation.
I mean, listen, I
Desperate
understand.
times, man.
I understand you have like stuff put into it, but like you want twice as much almost for it. So you want the 85.
Hold on.
And like just it's crazy what people want for cars nowadays. And even the when we went and got when Amanda got her new car, they're telling us that they're not doing lease programs anymore.
Why?
They're doing away with lease because they don't make money. Because people rent the car, then give it back at the end of the 3 years, and they can't sell them. So it's actually cheaper now to buy the cars. And I'm talking about, and we were talking, and like a Ford, what was it? A Ford F-150 was almost $1,000 a month for 5 months.
That's insane.
Yeah. And they were telling us at one point that, I mean, we don't have the greatest credit in the world. We don't, but like but they were talking about 25% APR. Yeah. Yeah. The car market.
That's crazy.
We know kingship voyeurism is real. But yeah, can you like the car market is going to explode. I was watching a TikTok, and listen, I take these TikToks with a grain of salt. But with that being said, somebody has a car that my name is attached to it, and they still have the car, and it hasn't been repoed, hasn't been paid in 6 to 8 months, and they
And it
still have
hasn't
it.
been repoed?
Nope. I'm hearing that they're having a hard time repoing cars. I'm hearing that the repo car lots are packed.
Wow.
Yeah, there no, you can't afford it, and it's on purpose, and it's on purpose. And we talk about this on Business Party. They want these 15-minute cities where you don't have to buy a
Yeah.
car. They don't want you to do. They want you within 15 minutes, and like cattle. They want us like cattle. And
Yeah.
it's kind
Well,
of.
do you see in China they already have like 15-minute cities and stuff, but there's a gate and you have to go through gates if you want to go from one city to another, and you have to have like it's like a passport, and everything has to check off. You have to make sure you have like all your
And you
medical treatments done, if you know what I mean,
and you
and
know what
stuff before you can even go.
you know what it's based on too, right?
Mm-mm.
Come on, we've been talking about it forever on this program. Your
What are you talking
social
about? Agenda 2030
your
or the
social
social
credit
credit
score.
score?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's about your social credit score.
Because
And if
you won't be allowed in certain cities without it.
yeah,
Then you don't think the elites are going to have the top tier credit score, and you can't get into certain neighborhoods without a certain credit? Do you understand? They talk about like people like minorities not being allowed into certain neighborhoods because of certain things. Could you imagine the social credit score if they start doing that with minorities and saying that, this is not your score is not good, so you can't get it would explode.
well,
Would
it just reminds me
explode.
of it's like a mixture between in my brain like Divergent and Hunger Games.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember like on Biden's inauguration, someone was wearing an outfit that I looked at it and I was like, we are literally living in Hunger Games right now, and we're looking at the Capitol people in their weird ass outfits.
How you spell inauguration? INAU. Here it goes. Yeah. I remember exactly who it was.
Who was it?
I'll show you 1 second.
Because she reminded me of Elizabeth Banks in Hunger Games.
Lady Gaga.
Yes. That's it. Lady Gaga.
She's even got the patch. Man. Look at the patch.
I know.
Wow. I never realized she had. Look at that.
It looks like the bird from like the bird song, the Mockingjay.
Yeah, the Mockingjay.
It's like, are you mocking us? Like,
but once again, look at everybody back here with all their masks on. That guy's mask on. Who doesn't got a mask on? The entitled, the rich.
Hold on, let me see an image of this Mockingjay thing so I can just show you. I'll give you a sample from the book. I don't want you, Katniss. I just want the bird.
Gator boots and a pimped out Gucci shoes. Ain't got
it looks like that. That looked like what was on her freaking chest. You see it?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can. We'll go back and forth.
All right.
That's exactly it. Holy shit.
she trying to tell us something?
I think so. Like, it's exactly it. Holy shit. Wow.
Oh wow. Yeah, like it's like
I've been saying it forever. And I've known a lot of people have been saying it, but that's where we're going. We're going to districts. We're going to the elite, or they just want to take over, and it shows with a lot of things that they're doing. You know, I mean, look what happened with Britney Spears' conservatorship. We have all this evidence that politicians and judges are part of this. They're part of censoring Britney Spears, basically, and making her seem like
yeah,
she's insane. You know, and the
and
poor girl
taking her
just
money.
yeah. Could you imagine paying for the people? Well, I mean, look at the government now. We're paying for our own destruction right now. But
Right.
but your own parents, your lawyers, your agency, and everything like that.
Well, actually that kind of is a good segue into
I
know
that's
you
what I
did.
was
I know.
trying. I try to come up with good segues.
I see what you did there. I just wanted to point it out.
Listen, I'm the segue king.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, with like politicians and everything, kind of going back onto what we were talking about the weekend prior to us being off. We had talked about Britney Spears' conservatorship. We talked. We talked about the Slave Princess documentary. Very good. Talked a little bit about the Free Britney movement, and
But the thing with the Slave Princess, it only touches the surface of what's going on.
oh yeah,
Like it doesn't. It's not everything. It gives you kind of like the outlay of everything that happened, but it's not everything that happened.
yeah.
So
It didn't even play much of what Britney Spears said in court the day that they like kind of. It was said to everyone that the conservatorship was over, but in the past week or so, we've come to find out that there was still like other things going on before they could finally say, okay, the conservatorship is over, whatever. And then all of a sudden she was in the news again because she was at the Hotel Marmont in Hollywood and apparently got in a fight with a boyfriend, and then she sprained her ankle. Someone called an ambulance to go see if she was okay. Then she went to Instagram being like, I bet it was my fucking mom and they're trying to get me again into a conservatorship. Yes, this is what happened on Instagram. It was a lot. And then she deleted her whole Instagram and then she put it back up. And she has like a picture of her sprained ankle on there. And then she started posting things about like about different people. Like she was posting a lot about Brad Pitt this past few days. Or the past day. She was yes. Like she was posting stuff about Brad Pitt. And I was like, what is this? So I haven't looked in a few days. Well, in a day or two. But anyway, because it changes all the time. You have to like screenshot save everything because something will be up and an hour later it's gone. But back on track, I wanted to talk to you all a little bit about what did they call it? They call it the Free Act, and roughly translated to the Free Britney Act that was introduced into Congress back in July of 2021. It was a bipartisan bill, and it's supposed to be about conservatorships and stuff like that, and making them better and more fair for the conservatee, and more checks and balances against the conservator. But it wasn't what people thought it was going to be. And actually, the Free Britney movement was very big into making this go nowhere. But I wanted to go a little bit over that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I'm actually looking it up right now. Here is a ooh.
What?
Here is an article from a couple days ago, May 2nd. Congress passes bill aimed to combat. Nope, that's not what. Oops,
Nope, that's not it.
that's not. Nope,
Here,
that's
ready?
not the.
Let me pull it up. So this is from Nancy Mace and Charlie Crist. They came up with this. Well, it was Charlie Crist's bill, and then Nancy Mace put her name to it, and then later on Eric Swalwell and some other people put their name to it too. So I'm just going to read this to you guys. It was a press release from July 20th of 2021, and it said this week Congresswoman Nancy Mace and Congressman Charlie Crist from Florida, they introduced a bipartisan free, quote unquote, Free Britney Act to restore and protect the rights of the roughly 1.3 million Americans under conservatorship. I didn't know that there was that many people underneath a conservatorship in the United States.
No,
That's
holy
a lot.
shit. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot more than should be.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, yeah.
Well, Britney Spears' conservatorship is a nightmare. If it can happen to her, it can happen to anyone. Conservatorships undoubtedly protect countless vulnerable Americans from abuse, but the case of Britney Spears reveals a darker side to a system meant to protect people, Mace said. In some cases, conservatorships can rob capable and innocent Americans of their money, careers, and even basic human rights, like the right to reproduce in Spears' case. To see a woman like Britney Spears have her most basic human rights permanently stripped away from her under the guise of protection should be illegal. Our bipartisan bill will do more than free Britney. It will give anyone in a conservatorship the right to petition the court for a public guardian with absolutely no conflicts of interest, financial or otherwise. This is a solid first step toward conservatorship reform. I want to thank Ms. Spears for her courage in coming forward. And then Charlie Crist was saying that abusive conservatorships can be an unending nightmare. And tragically, we don't know how many people are being held captive against their will under the broken guardianship system. We do know, however, that we need federal safeguards to protect. Hold on. Just remember this: federal safeguards to protect persons under guardianship for abuse and from abuse and exploitation. That's why I'm proud to join Rep. Mace introducing legislation that would give persons under guardianships an escape hatch out of abusive guardianships, a case worker to monitor for signs of abuse and advise them of their rights, and increase transparency, because sunshine is the best medicine. Under the Free Act, we could free Britney along with the countless number of seniors and persons with disabilities being abused and exploited by a broken system. And, you would think like it sounds all good and all, but when you actually read the bill itself, it's like, come on, bro. Really? So they use Britney Spears' name to give more powers to government, actually. And they want here, I can bring up the bill.
I have another article really quickly that
Yeah.
has a little bit more about it. Let's see. This one is from Spectrum News 1 in New York. And it says, as Britney Spears' conservatorship battles continue to play and record, details from her situation have sparked outcry from fans, celebrities, and even lawmakers on Capitol Hill. But what I was seeing is that Mace told Spectrum News that two lawmakers were prompted to take action after hearing Britney's gut-wrenching court testimony last month, in which she condemned the 13-year-long court-enforced conservatorship that controlled the vast majority of her life, calling it abusive and slamming the father and controlling it. I want to end this conservatorship without being evaluated, Beard said in June. This conservatorship is doing me way more harm than good. I deserve to have a life. Spears' claims include the fact that she wanted to get married to her boyfriend, Sam Agashar, and have a baby with him, Asghari, and have a baby with him, but she was not allowed to because of her conservatorship. I have an IUD in my body right now that won't let me have a baby, and my conservators won't let me go to the doctors to get it out. An attorney for her father, Jamie Lynn Spears, denies these claims. It's heartbreaking to hear her voice describe some of the abuses that that she's endured under her conservatorship. Damn. She can't even get an IUD out
Mm-hmm.
to have a baby.
Yeah, she can do anything.
And I from what I hear, this isn't all that it's cracked up to be either. It doesn't. It's
No.
not on the up and up, as the kids say.
Yeah.
It's not on the up and up.
And the kids would be right. All right, here,
Never say that again. Kids are always wrong. Fuck them kids.
let's bring this up. Let's see. Hold on. I need to see what it looks like on your end. How do I make it bigger?
That's what she said. Yeah, there you go. Hold on, I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to get this. Here we go. So this was the bill that I actually got off of Rep. Nancy Mace's site. And it says this act may be cited as the Free Britney Act. And now it says it grants states for state employed caseworkers and legal guardians and conservators for legally incompetent adults. It kind of goes into basically the secretary. The secretary may make grants to eligible states. So the states will be getting money if they are following these procedures, and there would be state employed caseworkers and legal guardians and conservators for legally incompetent adults. Now, what it's trying to do is actually get it out of the hands of individuals controlling the conservatorship and put it towards the state, more towards the state. So it can, considering that in Britney Spears' case that there was people within government themselves like rigging different things to keep her in it, I wouldn't want to give the state more power into this either.
No, they took her license away because somebody went in front of her car and she ran them over accidentally, ran over their foot, and now she can't drive with her kids in the car because of it.
Well,
Because
in this bill, it says that the state law requires that a caseworker who is a state employee to be appointed for each individual who is subject to a guardianship or a conservatorship to be empowered, notwithstanding any objections of the legal guardian or conservator, or to communicate with individuals and to assist the individual in petitioning a court to replace a legal guardian or conservator as the case may be. So basically it's putting another person into it that they're saying would be like a middleman, but on the side of the person who's underneath the conservatorship or guardianship. It's just too many fingers in the pie. I don't know. The whole thing is just, I don't like it. I don't know. There's more. There's a part about money. I have it on my other draft that I have like things highlighted on, but oh, here it is. It's the grant amount. So each state would get money
of
for this.
course.
They would get a grant. Yeah, this is
of course.
So, and it says the amount of the grant to be made to a state under this section is the state's share of amount made available to carry out this section. I don't know what that means. But for the purpose of this paragraph, the state share is the total number of legally incompetent adults in the state who are under a legal guardianship or conservatorship divided by the number of such adults in all states. So, and a part of me feels like, okay, so then it'd be more beneficial for the state to have more people underneath the guardianship then.
Yeah. This sounds like when remember when COVID hit and they were like, hey, every death attributed to COVID at the hospital gets the hospital $40,000.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like, hey, the more people that are under this conservatorship, the government gets more money.
Mm-hmm. And it says, and here's the thing though, Now, the use of the grant, a state to which a grant is made under the section shall use the grant only to pay for the salaries of state employees who are serving as caseworkers for legal guardians or conservators for legally incompetent adults. So wait. So it's state employees who are serving as case workers for the legal guardians, not the ones that are being. I read this wrong the first time. So they're case workers for the guardians, not the person who's under the conservatorship. Am I reading that right? Is that what it means?
A state to which a grant is made under the section shall use the grant only to pay the salaries of state employees who are serving as caseworkers for legal guardians of or conservators for legally implemented adults and to cover related. Yeah. So now the state just put their fucking nose in it. So now the conservators have somebody watching them. And as we know, if you go to your local DMV, the state workers there suck.
Who was to say that the conservators won't take money and like grease palms, man?
Yeah.
So it says within 90 days after the end of the fiscal year in which a grant is made to a state under this section, the state shall submit to Congress a written report that specifies how the funds were used, the number of adults under legal guardianships or conservatorships in the state at the end of the fiscal year.
Hold on. I'm going to add something real quick.
Okay.
That's how much caseworkers make. Between 55 and 94,000 a year.
It's not bad.
That's a lot. I mean, it's not bad for the caseworker, but can you imagine how many caseworkers you're going to need that the state is just going to take your money for? That's an additional. So now the conservators have your money. So not only do the conservators have your money, now the state is taking an extra $55,000 to $95,000 a year on top of that
per person.
Yeah. And how many caseworkers they're going to have in the state? They're not going to have just one.
Yeah.
You're talking about millions of dollars going to the state for this. So this is a fucking scam. This is another scam.
You know that most of the money is going to go to California because I bet you most of the conservatorships and stuff are out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but still, like, this is fucking shiesty. This is really fucking shiesty. 99 to a. So it says base pay $49K to $82K a year, additional pay $6K to $12K. The estimated total pay for a caseworker is $71,897 per year in the United States, and with an average of $63,430 per year. So, I mean, quickly, if you do the math, let me see really quickly. How many caseworkers you think could be per state? 100?
I don't
Depending,
know.
I mean, average out with all the, even if we go, let's see, I'll do 64,000 times 100 equals, that's $6.4 million per state. And that's a conservative number.
So
times 50.
All right. So they say that there's 1.3 million people roughly in the United States underneath a conservatorship. Divide that by 50 states, and it's 26,000 people per state.
And maybe I go average of 26 people per caseworker. So that's 1,000 caseworkers. So you're talking about 1,000. That's in the trillions. Because that was 360,000 for 100 for 50 states. So you're talking about $3 trillion.
Maybe billion. 3 trillion?
Yeah, hold on. It was 320000000. Yeah, it was million. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, billion. You're right, billion.
Okay.
So three.
I was like trillion. What?
$3 billion extra.
But still.
Over
Yeah.
$3 billion that they have to pay. These people, they have to pay these people. So that's coming out of the conservatorship. Wow. Wow.
So the ratio of the number of individuals under legal guardianship in the state during the fiscal year to the number of state-employed legal guardians of or conservators for the individual and the number of individuals in the state who were emancipated from a legal guardianship. Okay. So they just have to give them all the analytics and stuff. Okay, so for grants under the section, there are authorized to be appropriated to the secretary not more than $260 million, for which $160 million of it shall be for states to hire caseworkers for legally incompetent adults pursuant to this section.
Oh, I called it. I almost called it. I said double. So, okay, it was 300. So I said 100 for 50 caseworkers per state. For 100, it was $320 million. I was off by double. So it was half. So 50 caseworkers per state.
Yeah. Think of this. It'd be 50 caseworkers per state so 50 case, and then it's 26,000 cases per state. So roughly, we're just saying like it's all even. I know it's not, okay, but just for the sake of math, okay. So if you do the 26,000, so that divided by 50, right? That's 520 cases per one person.
Yeah.
For these conservatorship cases.
Do you think they're going to get to them? That's 500. No. That's more than one a day.
Yeah.
So if they do two a day, yeah. If they do two a day, it'll take them a complete a year to get back to you.
And that's not even including weekends and holidays.
No.
And you know the government loves them holidays.
Mm-hmm. Federal holidays, state holidays. Especially the states have more. I believe the states might have more holidays than the federal government does, because the states can if they want to have Ramadan off, they can put it into a bill, and then the state can have Ramadan off that day. Wow. Holy
yeah, it's kind of wild seeing it like numbers like that though.
And everybody wonders why we tell you not to trust the government. They never, and we tell you read the bills. Read the bills, because this is the shiesty shit that they put in there.
Yeah.
$160 million
just to hire people, and then $100 million shall be for states to hire legal guardians of or conservators for legally incompetent adults. So not only are they okay. Whoa. So in there, they're saying we'll hire the caseworkers looking over the cases, but then we'll also hire the guardians and conservators of these people. And listen, and I understand, like in Britney Spears' case, like her parents, not good to have them as people as her conservators. She could have benefited, maybe, but how things worked out, I don't think like how things did, like she was under it for 13 years. But most cases, when you're not talking about like celebrities and shit like that, like if you're talking about someone who might have like an Alzheimer's or something, it's usually like a loved one. And I know those can go wrong too. So just
But now you're putting the state who has no care,
they don't give a shit.
No.
They got no invested interest. But I don't know. Yeah.
Wow. So they're going to take the money away from your family, give it to the state, and the state is now going to take care of you.
Right. Yes. And then here
Wow.
we go. Wait. The amounts made available under paragraph 1 are authorized to remain available until expended. Okay. Meaning that they used it. Okay. So, okay, never mind. So then it goes through a definition. Secretary, by the way, when they say secretary, they mean the Secretary of Health and Human Services. We don't need to go through the history of Health and Human Services right now, and not on this show. So when it talks about state, it's not only talking about the United States, but it's also talking about DC, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and American Samoa. So that's more. It's expanded.
So there's going to be so now there's going to be less. So the pie is going to be even, oh my God, it's going to be even less workers, because if it's including those islands too,
Mm-hmm.
this is not good. This is not good. Wow.
Well, all right, let's go down here, because they were just going through like what they found about conservatorships. There wasn't too much in there. So an establishment of right, an individual who is subject of a legal guardianship established under state law has the right to communicate with a caseworker referred to in section 2B2, notwithstanding any objection of the legal guardian or conservator. I think this is important. This is important. Yeah. Like they should be able to talk to their own counsel and stuff. And then they should also be able to petition a court to replace any person who is a legal guardian or conservator, the individual and who is not an employee of the state with a legal guardian or conservator, as the case may be, who is an employee of the state, notwithstanding the terms of the guardianship. Oh my God. I don't understand that. I don't understand.
Petition a
that.
court to replace a person who is a legal guardian of or conservator for the individual and who is not an employee of the state with the legal guardian or conservator, as to the case may be, who is an employee of the state, notwithstanding the terms of what. This is all lawyer speak.
Yes,
this is all lawyer speak to make it confusing for you not to understand it. That's all this is. So that way you need a lawyer.
The petitioner shall not be required to prove wrongdoing or malfeasance by the legal guardian or conservator, as the case may be, as a condition of having the petition granted.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, I'm wondering, so basically they don't have to prove that. They could just say, listen, I don't want you to be my guardian anymore. And they don't have to show like any wrongdoing. But this lawyer speak has got me all kerfuffled. So I don't know. Do they mean, but I don't think it means that they can get rid of their state sanctioned caseworker. Because he won't have enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says an individual who, this is private right of action. So an individual who is subject of a legal guardianship. I'm just going to stick with your guardianship right now. Established under the state law may bring an action in any United States district court to enforce any right provided by subsection B. The court may provide the petitioner in such an action with such relief as the court deems appropriate. So that's about it. So basically just saying that they can petition any court. It doesn't matter what state.
So
it's making it federal.
Yeah.
So that's more not like human trafficking waiting to happen.
Holy shit. Dude, this is
the good news is, though,
There's good news.
Yes, no. There is good news because first off, nothing has happened with this bill. Nothing. There has been no vote. It hasn't gone any forward. People just used it as like a PR, like, hey, look at me. Make sure, like, oh, we're coming up on 22. Like, you got to vote for me. You know, like Free Britney. Woohoo. Like, I'm cool. I'm down with the cool kids. Bullshit.
Woo-hoo.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah.
It's just more of the government just trying to stick their hands in place. And listen, don't get me wrong. It's what they're doing is garbage, but now the government's involved. So now
Well,
it's
that's
going
what
to
they
be.
wanted. But here's the thing. So, like I said, good news is nothing has happened with this bill. Like, it's not passed. It's not a thing. So it's not even implemented. But that's what they wanted to do. But
that was
just keep your eye out, and just in case someone decides to like bring it back into the fray, or if you see any of that stuff when people are talking about conservatorships, like,
well, they never put out a
He's
bill. They never put out a bill just to put out a bill. They put out a bill to test the waters. A lot of times,
Yeah.
a lot of times they'll put out a bill just to see what they can get away with, and depending on the
Yeah.
backlash, they'll change it a little bit, or you know they'll shelve it, you know. But it's on the record still. But like, and then they'll come back to it eventually. But it's the government wants to put their hands in every single
do.
little thing, and don't get me wrong, what's going on with Britney is horrible, but at least it's kind of staying in the family. Now it's just the government, and they'll spin it. They'll spin it as to, hey, you know, it makes more jobs and it gives more people. It's not. You want to just keep giving people more government jobs and more government jobs and more government jobs. It's what once the private sector's gone, what do you have? You have nothing. The government doesn't make anything, you know, until the government starts making things and owning businesses, and then you get to socialism.
But it's utopia. What are you talking about?
Who?
It.
It's just
like I said before. So when this bill came out, the people from the Free Britney movement read it, said that it was a red herring, blasted Nasty Mace and Charlie Crist for the whole thing, and it just didn't go anywhere because it wasn't really for it was more about government and giving government more money than it was about actually helping these people who are under conservatorships, which it sounds like when you think of like people who are in their 20s, like I think about people who have like addiction. Like if you look at like Bam Margera was underneath a guardianship. Not many people, they're like, oh, well, he's crazy. This is the argument that I fucking hate. Excuse my language, but I hate it when people say it's like, oh, well, they're just crazy. They should definitely have somebody take care. Look at that. It's none of your business. It's their life. It's their life. If it goes up in flames, then it's their, you know, if they are not, like, they're not incapable of making decisions. They're just not making decisions you want them to make. Yeah. And if you look at Britney Spears' case, they had a doctor say that she had fucking dementia at the age of 26 or 28 to get her underneath this freaking. People say it was like, was it bipolar or whatever? No, in the court documents, it says dementia.
I feel so bad for her. I really. She went from an American sweetheart to this crazy person in no time, and the media is what fucking did it. The media getting all those shots, all those predatorial.
They had her on lithium.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was trying to look up the side effects of lithium and seeing if any of this stuff is a side effect of it. And I don't remember what I have, but it just, dude, it's and like you said, everybody who's under a conservative, it's none of your. If you want to go crazy and you want to be Bam Margera, and you want to buy 40 grams, 40 fucking bricks of heroin, and you want to bang it out, bang it out. Do what you got to do. Sorry, what we are trying to take adults and make them children, and that's the problem we have right now. This is the problem we have with this whole like with the protests that are going on right now in colleges all over the place. You know, they're trying to make adults children, and I said it the other day. I don't know where I said it, but I'm sick and tired of it. I'm tired of it. If you want to go and do that, go ahead. And it's nobody else's fault. It's your own self accountability. Be accountable for yourself.
Oh, you were talking about it with me, Kelly, and Biz on Business Party.
Yeah, if you want to go and OD because you want to go, yeah, go ahead. That's your right. You have the right to do that. And it's
so libertarian of you.
I know. You're right. And well, if you don't
get to real quick, just about like the whole Britney Spears thing, and you were talking about the media. I just want to, you know who I'm going to pull up because she's my favorite. But so the account that surprised, so it's under BJ Investigates, and it's a she's got a 20-minute video called "The Britney Spears Economy." It is really great, and I suggest that y'all watch it. It's under BJ Investigates on YouTube. There you go. How to plug my girl. She has no idea who I am, but it's fine.
She'll find out. You'll have lunch with her. Don't worry. It's gonna happen.
I hope so. Vibes.
They've made a lot of money off of this. And once again, if it leads, it bleeds, and that will never go away. That will never go away, because even in TikTok lives, like you'll have people just I'll be in TikTok lives where we're just hanging out and not just like shooting the shit, laughing, cutting up, having a good time. Maybe 20 people in there. Right. You've got an argument between two people, like the debate TikToks, 1.7K. You got drama, 3,000. You know, people love drama. People,
especially if it's not their own.
Yeah. They will sit there and watch somebody who's having a mental breakdown. And literally, you'll have people in the comment section like, why are you doing this on TikTok? You're just doing this for views. You're just doing this for this. Why are you there watching this? Yeah. You're just doing it because it's drama. It's if it leads, it bleeds. Like, you're going to watch it. You're going to watch it. And that's what the news is like nowadays. It's no longer giving you the news. It's just whatever makes them the most money in advertisement. By the way, you know the news is no longer the news when they're having advertisements. People are paying them to report stuff. They're being paid by the people who, the commercials that you see. Those commercials, they pay the networks. So it's no longer news. It's no matter what side you're looking at, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, OAN, whatever it is, they're being paid by advertisers. So they're not going to tell you.
Speaking of people being paid by advertisers and pissing people off, our next story. Is that how it's done?
Are you?
Is that how a segue is done?
No, but it was a good one. It was a good one. Okay. I don't know where the hell you were going. I don't know which one.
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. So as everybody knows, Caitlin Clark's been in the news lately. I didn't know the WNBA season started. They just had the draft like 3 days ago, and then it started a day after. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. I just saw a video.
Honestly, there are less prima donnas in the WNBA than prima donnas in the NBA, WNBA than they are in the NBA. I'll say that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But, they're Caitlin Clark obviously is bringing a lot of attention to the WNBA. And so, I mean,
Why? Why is she bringing attention to the WNBA?
Because she's white.
I saw her on on the front of a magazine. I've seen pictures of her on X, and I don't know what the story is. I don't know what happened.
So she's the all-time leading scorer in Iowa, and I believe she's the all-time leading scorer in collegiate women's basketball.
Okay.
And she's good. Yeah. Well, never mind. I'm not gonna go there. That dude's pretty good too. But anyway,
Yeah.
So, and I've seen a highlight clip of what they said was her first day in the WNBA. This girl is making fucking three-pointers from the men's 3-point line. Like, she's like 5-10 feet away from the women's 3-point line, and they're different. And she's just swoosh, swoosh, fadeaway jumpers, threes. Like, she's good. I'll give it to her. She's really good. But the problem is the WNBA is not as lucrative as the NBA. The NBA has been around for, I don't even know, for 80, 90 years, and WNBA is practically new. So the WNBA doesn't have the money that the NBA has. So you got people freaking out. Go ahead.
Do you remember when they were trying to get more people be interested in the WNBA, and Disney came out with was it double take or whatever? And it was like the twins that played basketball against each other.
No.
Oh man.
Find it. But I'm gonna play this clip really quickly. By Officer Tatum. He's a good follow. Give him a follow. He's got probably 1 million followers, but
Officer. I don't care about math right now.
Okay, now please tell us what a man who's the number 1 draft pick gets paid.
The number 1 draft pick in the NBA.
Yes.
A number 1 draft pick, first year, 10 million. 10 million, 76,000.
Yeah, that.
By the way, this is like picking at an old scab for many women.
What's happening? What's happening with
right
you?
here?
What's happening?
Sitting for many years next to co-anchors over the years and not knowing what anyone got paid, and then discovering that like you were making like a tiny fraction of what the guy was making next to you.
It's what you bring to the table, sweetheart. What are you bringing to the table? And women, y'all are not bringing the athletic stuff to the table. Y'all getting paid a ton of money. The richest woman in the world, richer than most men in the world at the time, was Madam C.J. Walker. One of the richest people in the world is Oprah Winfrey. Are y'all talking about a pay gap with Oprah? Oprah Winfrey make more money than 99.9% of men in this world. In the world.
Yeah. Oprah makes a lot of money. So, I'm gonna try to put this up. What does the NBA make? Let's see. What does the NBA bring in a year?
Over. Oh, okay.
$10.5 billion a year.
What about the WNBA?
2022-2023 season. So, what does the WNBA?
They won't show it.
Nope. You've got articles. Here we go. Just says, is the WNBA a profitable league in 2023? Examining how the league is performing financially over the years. Former David Stern is why over the next 25 years, the team has minimal growth despite the countless talented women coming during the time it can't seem to get off the ground. The league loses roughly $10 million a year and lost close to $12 million in 2017.
Whoa, so it doesn't make any money. It loses money.
Mm-hmm. While things might look bleak, the league is slowly making strides. Viewership is trending in the right direction, and they recently landed a $75 million investment money. The league as a whole is now valued around $1 billion.
It's because they got funded for the next 7 years with how much they're losing each year.
Yeah. Which might not turn a profit. The WNBA still makes money. In 2019, it was reported that the league brought in $60 million in revenue. Due to the current collective bargaining agreement, $12.3 million of that was distributed among players. That's it. $12.3 million was distributed among the players out of $60 million in revenue. Now let's go back. The NBA made $10.23 billion last year. So there's a reason why the WNBA doesn't make, the women at the WNBA doesn't make as much. They've got $12.3 million, and that's per the contract. That has nothing to do with anything else. Doesn't have to do with misogyny, doesn't have to do with racism. These are just the numbers. And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's in the contract. And I'm
wondering what the ratio. Okay, so if the ratio of money into salaries is like, so for the 60 million, 12.3 million goes to salaries. Now, out of the 10.53 billion, how much of that goes to salaries for the NBA?
Let's see. Oh, wait, here we go. Let's go to this. It's the same. When it comes to the WNBA and the NBA, there's a big difference between money that both leagues generate. It's not the total revenue generated that the WNBA and the NBA have. It's a huge gap between the salaries. So as for this, compared to the WNBA generated $60 million in revenue in 2023, which comes out to 12 teams in the league compared to the WNBA. The NBA generates $10 billion in revenue, which generates 30 teams across the league. 60 million revenue, 12.3 distributed among the players, which is 20.5% of the league's total revenue, while the NBA distributes 50% of its revenue to the player's salary.
Okay.
So it's double, but there's double the amount of teams.
Right. Well,
so you've got 12 teams compared to 30 teams. But that's by contract.
Mm-hmm.
I hate all these ads, but this is a free article, so we have to deal with the ads. The average salary of an NBA player is $9.6 million, which the WNBA is $102,000.
Shit. That's kind of that's crazy.
It is. But when you're talking about millions and billions and the percentage, that's also the contracts. So you also have to talk about the contracts and the revenue and what everybody's bringing in. And to be honest with you, a lot of players don't make their money playing. They make their money with endorsements.
Endorsements and stuff.
Yeah. And so with that, we'll get into the endorsements in a minute, because that made a left-hand turn when it came to endorsements. When it came out.
Real quick, the Disney movie is called Double Teamed, and it's about two sisters who moved to a different school, and they can't play volleyball anymore. So then they're like, "Oh God," and then they have to go play basketball.
It's called Double Teamed.
Double Teamed, yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I never thought of that until dirty. Oh man.
Yeah,
listen, Disney isn't the best when it comes to things like that. But anyway.
Well, let me clarify first, because it's proxy season, right? No CEO, do you just put the base pay in there? You put their bonus, you put their stock options, you put everything. Caitlin has the ability to make up to $500,000 just in WNBA wages this year. So, of course, they're just looking at a base which is collectively bargained. And actually, it's low because she's the number one pick. She'll make a little more than that. But she also has millions and millions of dollars of endorsements. She's actually, because she declared to become pro, her endorsements are higher in dollar value She has a global platform now, not just a U.S. platform. So she's going to do just fine, as will the top players in the league, as every league does. Also, there's comparisons to the men. Those men's leagues are 75 to 120 years old. We're tipping off our 28th season. I would say if you looked at them 28 seasons in, we're further ahead. But I realize we still have a lot of work to do. And it's all about the ecosystem.
I didn't know the WNBA was only to end its 28th season.
I didn't either. I would have swore that they're in their 12th or 15th season. I didn't think they would.
I remember the only player that I remember from the WNBA is Lisa Sparks.
Lisa Leslie too.
Okay.
Because what's her face? Is it Lisa Leslie? Or what
or is it Lisa Sparks? I'm wondering if it is, or did she play for the Sparks?
She played for the Sparks. I think you're talking about Lisa Leslie because she's what's his face's sister from there's one the sister from the Indiana Pacers. Oh, I forget his name.
Oh, you're talking about Reggie Miller?
Yes, his sister also was in the WNBA.
Dude, my husband, from Indiana, loves. I have to hear about Reggie Miller.
Oh, is she gone? Uh-oh.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, there you are. Yeah. Okay. Cheryl Miller is her name.
Yeah, I had to listen to cannot tell you how many times I had to watch, what was it, 9 points in 9 seconds, and the Reggie Miller talking about his best game ever compared to his sister. If you know, you know.
Yeah, Cheryl Miller is the only. Yep, Lisa Leslie. There she is.
WNBA?
Cheryl Miller, yeah. And here's.
Okay.
Lisa Leslie, and she played for the
Sparks.
LA Sparks.
That's why I call her Lisa Sparks.
But yeah, I mean, it's not as lucrative, which, by the way, and this is, if you want to make it lucrative, go to the games. That's simple. Watch the games.
I mean, there's a guy giving away tickets. He said, listen, you can have tickets to a WNBA game or I'll give you $1. And everyone took $1.
Yeah. There are more women in the United States than there are men. I believe there's 159,000 women to 160 million women to 40 something men. So if there's more women, there should be more women watching. And like I said, it's growing. It's getting bigger than it used to be. And so it just takes time, but everybody wants to that equality thing. We should have. No, you can't. You have to build and grow. Just because there's money there doesn't mean the money is there like something else. If something's been there for a long time and established, unfortunately, there's a solution. Go to the games. Sell the games out. Right. I mean, the tickets aren't that expensive. So sell the games out. Look at what's going on in all these podunk towns now. Look what happened in Florida. Everybody moved to. Nobody wanted to go to Florida. Everybody hated Florida, and then all of a sudden, COVID hit. Now everybody's in Florida, and and now you can't stop hearing about how the rent and home prices have skyrocketed. Why? Mm-hmm. Because of the popularity. I mean, out here in the Midwest, home prices are skyrocketing. Houses that used to be $180,000 are now $300,000 because people are going, hey, let's move to the Midwest. It's nicer out there.
I looked at a house here in North Carolina, and I was looking, just saying, if I go drive by your house and I think it's pretty cool, I'll probably Zillow it later. Let's just keep it at that because I want to know. I'm very interested on what other people's houses look on the inside. Anyway,
by the way,
so I was looking at
Zillow's not there's a lot of horror stories about Zillow too, but yeah, that's a different story, different topic.
Don't ruin my parade.
Go ahead.
No, but so I was looking at one house and it was an older home And it was like back in 2018, 2019, the house was like maybe $250,000, maybe a little bit more. And now it's evaluated at almost $800,000.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Because people are sick and tired of the bullshit of the big cities. They don't want even the people who voted for the nonsense bullshit. That's why I'm like, to be honest with you, close the borders. And I'm talking about the state borders.
Like, oh my God, but when you moved out of New Jersey, we had to pay a tax to leave.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I had
California,
to pay a portion of what my house sold for to the fucking state just to leave.
Good thing I sold my house and was there for a while, and then I rented because that just offset that option. It's just it. By the way, don't come to the Midwest. So we got a new car. This is a quick side note. We got a new car, and you have to pay taxes to register the car every year.
Yes.
You want to know how much to register my car is going to be, the new car, every year for foreseeable future?
How much?
$2,500.
Whoa. 25. Holy shit. Are you serious? Every year?
Every year.
No.
I got to pay a local tax and a state tax. $2,500 to register a new car. It's the total of 8% of what the car is valued at.
Oh my God. That's fucking robbery right there.
Yeah. And like I said, the housing market is going up, 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 up. Everything's going up. So the Midwest is, it used to be a great place, but it's just like I said, if you want something, start making it more popular, and it's more popular to move out to the Midwest, and prices will go up and things will go up. And by the way, going along with the story that we're talking about, I went to WWE's website because I wanted. I'm fascinated with belts now, like WWE belts. Like they have cool ones. They have like Yankees ones, Chiefs ones, Royals ones. Like I want one because they look cool, and the new World Wrestling title belt looks really cool, and they're expensive. They're expensive to get a Yankees belt. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Nerd alert.
To get one of these belts, here it is, WWE.com. Let's go to the store. Nope, that's the shows. Let's go to the shop. No, thank you. Let's go to belts, replica belts. And so here is a replica belt for the title. And I don't know if you can see it. $449. Okay. For a replica belt. So now I was going down to look at the belts. Same belt, right? See the same belt?
Mm-hmm.
Women's championship
it's actually
belt.
A ring.
Look how much it is.
Oh my God.
$298 because it says women's championship reduced.
It'll ship within one business day, though.
But I mean, listen, I get it and I understand, but it's because people don't buy this shit.
Well, no, and but the thing is in consideration though too, like men are the ones that usually watch sports. I'm not saying it's only just men, but majority of it is men. I mean, I played sports all my life. I did, but I'm not gonna sit down and just like watch the WNBA. I hardly even watch the U.S. women's soccer stuff anymore, and I used to watch it religiously because I played soccer for a very long time, and like. The 96 women's soccer championship with Brandy Chastain. I was like, this is gonna be my life. it changed my world. Right? I was like, I'm gonna be like Maya Hamm. I'm gonna be like Brandy Chastain, you know? And
can you tell me of any recent soccer players?
The one that everyone hates, Megan Rapinoe. I know, yeah. No, but there's Alex Morgan. There was the only one that I remember is Tobin. I don't remember her last name though, but because I would always be like Tobin. And then there's Julie Ertz, because she married
Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz from.
But that's the thing, Julie Ertz, because she's Zach Ertz's wife.
Well, no, she was actually a very, very good defender, and she would move up a lot and stuff. She was really good. I remember.
But you can't tell me that doesn't look cool. You can't tell me that doesn't look cool. Come on. Look at that.
No, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do with that? Just like it's just gonna hang on your wall? Like, gee, like what would Amanda say if she came home and you're like walking around with that thing on? Like, I would like
listen, Amanda's built different.
Walk out.
No, Amanda's built different. Amanda's built way different, because I would be rocking that, and then she'd come home with a new fucking wrench set that was just as much. She'd go, oh, okay. She's gonna go buy a torque wrench. Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna go buy me a fixer-up car. But yeah, no, it's something that I would just want. But like I said, I can't get myself to spend $550. But it was funny that I was going through it, and I saw the women's championship belt was reduced.
But it is true though. Like most of like the mega fans and like people that will spend money on it are men.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's not like how many men are going to be. I mean, unless they're playing a joke on their friend and be like, I bought you the women's championship belt to their friend.
They're going to use it as the losing title for their fucking fantasy sports thing. They're going to be like, we'll just get the women's title and that'll be yours for the being last place. Here's the women's title.
Did you ever watch The League?
I love The League. The last season, I hated the last season because they just rushed it. But every season before the last season is the fucking best show ever.
Batman Chalupa. Oh my gosh.
Murder boner.
Oh my. That's where the fear boner came from.
Fear boner.
I talked about it like the other day. I swear, my husband and I reference Yabagoya like all the time. And like we're like, oh, Shiva Kamini.
Shiva Kamini Undergra.
Yeah.
Dude, that show is so good. I mean, like I said, it's such a, and nobody. It had I wouldn't be surprised if it had a cult following. Like after Rafi's my favorite, by the way. We're probably gonna get.
We're probably gonna get dog.
But I don't care if you're watching it. This is
official. Rafi is part of our league.
That's
oh boy.
Rafi bomb.
Want to make that?
No.
That's the time? No?
No, I don't.
Okay. Sorry. Gotta ask. It's a numbers game, you know?
Congratulations, Rafi.
Yeah! Woo! In your face!
Jeez, I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
Unbelievable.
Don't be mad. Is she single? What's her story?
It's my wife.
Wow. You know my friend Mike? Mike Ochocinco? Same last name. Maybe you guys are related.
Nah.
No? It's just not so often you meet a guy with the exact same Spanish numerals as the last name. All right, I'm out of here. I'm going to find you later and wrestle you for dominance.
Need a better team.
Hey, where did you guys get the two?
Oh my God.
I hope you are hitting that.
You know what? I have an idea.
Jerk off party?
No.
Let's do this.
No.
I like where this is going. Okay, put it away and just listen to me. Do you know how to read?
I get by, all right?
What do you know?
You know, red means stop.
Great.
Green means go.
Good.
Yellow's the other one.
Great.
No, wait. You have a sister?
Yeah.
I get to do her.
She lives in Milwaukee. She's married to a dentist and she's got IBS. So have at her.
Oh, I will.
Remember what I taught you. Do this, but then stab. You see stab, stab, swim, swim, stab.
Okay.
It's
Oh my
It's
god.
I want to rewatch it. I want to rewatch it. That show is so amazing.
I know every football season I'll be like, stop, you're tinkering. Stop tinkering. And then my husband would be like, I tinkered. I was like, I told you not to.
Oh man. But
it's so funny.
So getting back to Caitlin Clark.
Who's Caitlin Collins? What do I?
It's the fucking cunt, the cunt from CNN.
Oh,
the one who, with
okay.
the shit-eating
Caitlin
face.
Collins.
Yeah.
I kept calling her Caitlin Collins when we were talking about her on our chat. And you're like, it's Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Collins is the one who, looked at Bill Barr and was just like, Donald Trump called you names. You still going to vote for him? And he's like, yep. And she's like, why? Well, because I like his policies and everything like that. But he called you fat. Oh, okay. But he's mean. Okay. He can be mean all he wants, but if he's going to put more money in my pocket, then I don't give a fuck. And more money in American pockets, and we're not going to go to war. I think it's a good idea. But he's such a mean guy. Who cares? But
he goes, well, that's just him.
And people hate that. People hate, and not for nothing. I'm sorry. Women hate that the most. Women really do hate that the most. When you're just like, and you're like, but they're mean. But you don't. So you're mean, and you think that's a good idea? I can be. I mean, who cares? You're being mean right now. No, I'm not. But anyway, so Caitlin Clark, they were all on her side about not making enough money and whatnot, and the fact that she didn't get paid like she should. And they were all like, rah, rah, Caitlin Clark.
Because she said that she should be paid more.
Caitlin Clark's getting paid more. And there's a problem now.
USA Today writer, his name is Mike Freeman, and he put up this post the other day.
Oh, wait, hold on.
No black WNBA players have this.
It's already null and void because a man wrote about it.
Fucking mansplaining. Son of a bitch.
I know. He probably manspreads too when he sits on the train.
Listen, we have balls. I'm trying to explain this to Amanda, okay? We have balls. And by the way, did you see the video where the lady's like, are you going to get up? And the guy's like, are you a feminist and believe in equal rights? And she's like, yeah. He goes, then no. Boy, did that backfire in the face, huh? Boy, did that. But yeah, I mean, would you rather have, what was her name? The one that Joy Reid, who also said nothing but that it's racist because Caitlin Clark is looked up to by people, and the other girl from LSU who was fighting and everything like that, wasn't being looked up to according to her by people, and it's just you
so
can't win.
Yeah, no, you can't. Someone's gonna bitch about something. So, okay. So now the problem is no black WNBA players have a signature shoe. Here's why that's a gigantic problem.
Yes. Let's have a man.
Because she's white
and
a woman. Mm-hmm. He's just mad because he doesn't have a shoe. Michael Friedman.
Michael Friedman shouldn't even have a column.
I bet you it's an alias and it's actually Michelle and she's using Mike because she knows.
Obama?
It's a man's world and she's just got to live in it.
He gets into talking about how, this is unfair for someone like Caitlin Clark, a white woman, to get a signature shoe when there are other black players who haven't gotten the same opportunity. We talked about this yesterday on the show. This had me pretty fired up because it's easy to see why Caitlin Clark was the one chosen to have the shoe deal. She has gotten so many more people who normally have pretty much no intention of watching women's basketball to not only watch women's basketball, but to become a loyal fan. There's a lot of people now that have started buying up season tickets, for example, for the Indianapolis Fever games, who I'd imagine under normal circumstances wouldn't have even thought about buying season tickets.
And this is generating revenue. This is what they were talking about. They were talking about generating revenue and getting more people in seats.
Asses and seats.
Yeah, and buying merchandise. And this is what's going on, but she's not the right fucking color. It's stupid. Some people just bite their nose to spite their face. And it's like, who cares? If in the long run,
Whatever happened to what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
as in, what do you mean by that?
As in, okay, so now that, how often is it that Nike gives any WNBA player a shoe deal? So now that they have her, maybe it'll open up doors for other women in the WNBA to get shoe deals.
But that's not. It's not. It's not the solution, but it's not what they want. They want a specific little, like I equate this to like women and men. Like women, they say women want a man who's over 6 foot, who's good looking, who makes 6 figures a year. That's 5% of men. So you're having 50% of women, and I'm just throwing that number out. You have 25% of women looking for 5% of men, and then wondering why they can't find a good man. It's like you're biting your nose to spite your face. Let Caitlin Clark do this and make way for other people to be able to do this. But no, they're mad she's not part of the specific demographic they want. And God forbid it was a black woman, it wasn't a black lesbian, or it wasn't a black transgender with one arm. Like it just doesn't.
They got all that with Brittany Griner. What's wrong?
She doesn't have a shoe deal.
Is it because it was last year and she's tainted because she spent some time in Russia?
No, it's because she didn't get a shoe deal. That's why it was.
Uh-oh.
She needed. It's just,
but I bet you Fume is going to be like, hey.
Oh, jeez.
Fume is going to be like, hey, you would have been a sponsor. If you would have had us, you would have gotten caught. I'm dying. Ooh.
Oh, Jesus. Don't forget me when you become popular and famous, okay? Jesus.
Jersey sold out like wildfire during the draft day. Fanatics couldn't keep them stocked. Every single size sold out for Caitlin Clark. Clearly, there's a marketability here. Nike has been putting out top-selling shoes for decades on decades now, and they know what works, right? They have the secret sauce, if you will. So when they think to themselves, who should we give a signature shoe deal to? Who is going to help us generate the most revenue possible? Caitlin Clark obviously comes to mind. Now, for all the people who talk about, oh, well, Caitlin Clark got one, but why didn't a black player get the signature shoe deal in the WNBA? Again, this all comes down to marketability. And Nike clearly is not racist. I mean, let's take a look at what they've done in the past as far as signature shoe deals go. Michael Jordan, probably being the most well-known signature shoe on Nike's roster.
Have you guys not seen Air?
First one. They put all their money into Michael Jordan.
Yep.
All their money. It's listen, and by the way, they're getting mad at a sneaker shop that uses a sneakers that are being made in sweatshops. Okay? In China.
Beggars, probably.
So you're all fucking tossed up there.
I mean, look at the numbers here. The brand pulled in $6.6 billion in 2023 from Jordan's signature shoe. In 2022, 60 million pairs of Jordan shoes were sold. The Air Jordan 13, the Last Dance version, remember that was the documentary that we had during the pandemic, incredible documentary, that auctioned off for $2.2 million. Okay, so Michael Jordan is far from what I understand, he's a black man. He got a signature shoe deal, one of the very first to get one, ultra high selling. So clearly Nike is not racist. Not to mention, we also see Kyrie Irving, a black man who got a shoe deal with Nike. Now, his final Nike line, that final signature shoe, was never released because there was that controversy over him making those anti-Semitic remarks. But Kyrie claims that his shoe line overall generated $2.6 billion over the course of 7 years. Okay, Nike clearly has a knack for picking the right players to have signature shoes that are going to sell and sell well. Now, to add on to the conversation, to the ongoing debate over whether Caitlin Clark is deserving, and some people say she's not, and that it shouldn't have happened that way because of.
She is the leading collegiate scorer of all times.
Mm-hmm.
She's the number one woman scorer of all time in collegiate basketball for women's basketball. Why wouldn't she?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm so sick of the race thing. I really am. I really am so sick of it. I mean, you're
My
trying to
question
further
is-
your sport. You're trying to further
Yeah.
your sport, and because the woman is not the right demographic, that who cares? If it's going to further
here's-
the whole thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm just gonna say, well, is it just this one person, Michelle Freeman, who has a problem, or was it something that this article came out because things were kind of bubbling up saying that? Like,
Well,
that's what I want to know. Is it just this one person, or is it?
Jamila Hill
Go ahead.
was going off on her too for a while, because
Oh, really?
of the attention she was getting, and not the other girl from LSU. That the girl from LSU was getting attention for fighting, and Caitlin Clark was just as dirty, but she didn't get the attention. So it's been a thing.
Okay. Well,
But
I have questions.
No,
Okay,
listen.
got a lot of them. So the LSU, who's the LSU woman, and they are saying so she fights a lot, or she had gotten into a fight and it just was publicized or what have you.
Hold on. LSU women's. Can I spell? No, I can't. Women's basketball. Let's see. LSU women's basketball. What's her name? Angelique. Nope. I can't for the life of me. Woman basketball fight.
Angelique Velez or Angel Reese.
Angel Reese, that's it. Angel Reese.
Okay.
She was saying that she doesn't understand why Angel Reese was not getting the accolades. And it was this fight right here that kind of put Angel Reese in the spotlight for the mainstream. Like, Angel Reese apparently is good, and she from what I've seen a couple of clips, she's good. But the reason why she was in the spotlight is because of this.
Can you expand it? Perfect.
For Wiley, and that could be an intentional foul. Oh, we don't want this. And quickly, things escalate on both sides, both coaching staffs coming out to try to pull their players away. And then Flage.
Ooh.
That's when Cardoso comes up and pushes Flage down.
That's not her fault.
No.
Somebody jumped over the scores table from the stands.
It was one of their brothers. But yeah, so they're saying that they're not happy about, you know, some of the other women that are not getting the accolades that they should. And I mean, once again, it's
well, people are blaming Angel Reese on that. That was no, that's bullshit. They should not have blamed her for that. That wasn't one chick full on pushed her. She was tall as Brittany Griner.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I'm trying to see that they were saying that just Angel Reese is a dirty player, which I don't, you know, to be honest with you, there's a lot of fighting in women's basketball and men's basketball. It doesn't matter. Like, if she's good, she's good. Okay. But once again, Caitlin Clark is the #1 scorer of all times in collegiate basketball. So it makes sense.
Right.
So, I mean, and once again, if it's going to further your sport, you should be on the side of it. Okay, cool. Caitlin gets one. Who's next? You know, then after that, who's next? Then after that, who's next? And then progress like that. But, you know, I'll be called a misogynist and whatnot because of it. So I don't, it's just, it is what it is. But
well, I mean, how many of the NBA players right at one time have a shoe deal with like someone like Nike?
I don't know.
Steph Curry, I'm sure he's got shoes, and LeBron. I don't know of anybody else.
I don't even know if LeBron. I know Shaq had like a deal with like Voigt or fucking McGregor or whatever shoes at one point. But like,
and Iverson had him with Reebok.
Yeah, or and one, and like these, it just seems like people are not, their head is not in the right spot. Like everybody wants to be #1 right away, and nobody wants to be #2. Like, hey, like, okay, cool, Caitlin Clark, let's go. Let's jump on Caitlin's back. Let her take and you know what? And you can watch if Caitlin Clark falls from grace, somebody come behind her and take up that #1 spot then.
Right.
You know, and you can and you dominate. And then, but everybody just wants to be offended, and everybody just wants to, you know, they want to be #1 without having to, you know, not work for it, but you know, it's sometimes luck of the draw too. You know, I don't know. I know Caitlin Clark has worked her ass off from what I hear. Angel Reese has worked her ass off from what I hear. You know, but
you have to rework your ass off to get to that level. You know,
dude, I played Division III college football, and I was like, and I thought I was the shit. I went in there, everybody was all area, all state, all this, all that. And that was Division III. I couldn't imagine Division I football. Like Division I football, and now Division I basketball. It's nuts. And to just make it there, and the numbers from high school to college are like a quarter, and then from college to the professionals is a 10th. So if you even make it to professional sports, I mean, like even some of the guys that got drafted, you know, some of these guys that got drafted won't even play next year.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
you won't hear their names ever again.
No. I mean,
that's why honestly, the Tom Brady story is like actually like the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
I like watched this whole thing on it, and I like didn't know he was like a low round
seventh
pick.
round pick. And if it wasn't for and a little bit of it is luck. If it wasn't for Drew Bledsoe that got hurt, Tom Brady would have never got in.
Yeah.
And then Drew Bledsoe was like, I believe I remember correctly, Drew Bledsoe was just like, leave him in. Let him play. And Tom Brady became Tom Brady. Like, nobody wanted him.
And now he's a woman. He's very feminine looking.
Now he's a Dominican baseball player.
I had a joke. Had a joke to myself the other day, and I was like, "Damn, that was quick as Michael Jordan's baseball career."
By the way, you heard the conspiracy theory about that, right?
Yes. My husband was like, "Yo, listen to this," and I was like, "Makes sense. You should have an asterisk then."
He was suspended from the NBA for some shit, and he went to go play baseball. And once his suspension was up, he came back and returned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shaving points.
Yeah. It's listen, if you know of Michael Jordan and you know his story, like I didn't know how much of a dick he really was until that documentary came out. But that's what you got to do. Listen, when you're working, when I played high school football, right? Like I hated running, and they made us run every day. At the end of practice, the last half hour, last half hour was just running, and they made us run, and you had to run down the length of the football field 4 times, down, back, and you had to do it within a certain time, or else you had to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, you're like, this sucks. I hate this. But then when you're playing and you're in the fourth quarter and you see the other team gas and we're still out there like, let's do this. We know it. We're good. Like it pays.
You got one more gear left.
Yeah. Like literally the coach that was doing the run the sprints at the end of the thing, it got to a point where he would just go like this, and he would just between the third and fourth quarter, it would be him on the spotlight, and you'd see him walking down the sidelines, and the whole stands would yell 4. He'd go like this, he'd start doing like these little dance, and he'd go like this, and the whole stands and everybody would just yell 4. And because it was the fourth quarter. So it sucked. We hated it. We were throwing up at some points. But then we won 2 state championships back to back. And it was like you realized all that work and all that determination pays off in the end. And that's what Jordan was like. Jordan was like, listen, you're going to fucking play for me. You're going to fucking play for us. That's it. I don't want to hear no shit. I don't want to hear no nothing. I don't give a fuck. I will fight you. Him and Steve Kerr got into it. Like, I will fight you. I'm going to win these championships, and you're either going to be with me or you're going to get the fuck out of Chicago. And it was like, and they won 6. They won 6. So, for as much as a dick he was, he got results. But yeah, I just, just fucking cheer on the other people, man. Sometimes you just got to cheer on other people so that way it's better for everybody in the end.
And use them as a sounding off board to make yourself better too. Yeah. Like as an aspiration.
Yeah. But, people don't see that. People just see them as, well, they're getting this and I'm not. And that's not fair.
Yeah. It's like, woe is me. Pity is me. No, then work harder. Put yourself in another gear.
Yeah. But I don't know. But
that's it. That's all we got. We're tapped out.